Assalamualaikum. My name is NURSHAZWANI.
My name is Alya Syifa.
And today we'll be teaching you on how to make your own recycled notebook for free. Like this one. Excited. Because I still remember when I was little, I used to carry my notebook literally everywhere because I want to write everything in there about how my day was, about my family, and about my crush. However, nowadays I rarely seen people bring their notebook everywhere, including students that I assume they should have one notebook with them everywhere because they want to use it to take their notes. So this make me sad.
I feel you, Wani. Sure, typing is much faster when you use gadget, which becomes more handy if there's a lot of information to take down. However, it turns out there's advantages when we're doing things old-fashioned way. And research shows that when we use laptops or gadgets, there is a tendency for us to be distracting because we will be more likely to click over social media such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram instead of writing down our notes in the lecture. So the research also shows that when we take our notes, we will be more slower, but it is actually beneficial for us in the long run because when person taking notes, the processing that occurs will improve learning and retention. Thus, people will memorize more about what they wrote. So today, we hope to bring back the highlighting culture by showing you how to make a notebook by ourselves. And also, we'll be saving environment because all the materials we will use recycled materials, which also actually we can find it everywhere. Even better, we can just find it in our room. And I assure you, it is super easy and costs no money. It is good news to students because students need to spend their money carefully, right? So, Wani, let's get started. Yes. What we will need: 4 pages, waste paper that has been used on one side only. Of a variety of pages for our notebook, we can use used envelopes. And for our covers, we can use box. And for the fixing or binding, we can use laces or ropes. Tools that we need is cutter to cut the papers and box, puncher, and lastly a ruler. As you can see, all the materials we can find in your room.
Step 2. You need to prepare the pages from paper. So now, we use paper from our wrongly printed assignment that had printing only on one side. Like this one, and also this one. So you need to fold the paper into 2 and cut the paper in half. So that means if you are using A4 size, this will then mean you have 2 A5 sheets of paper. Make sure you use the cutter carefully because it is dangerous for yourself. And make sure you use the stainless steel ruler to make your line straight. Making sure to have the unprinted sides are all facing the same way, take some pages and fold the batch in half. That now will be A6 like this, and also like this one. So these two will be A6 size. Spread all the pages in your batch and make a pile with all the folds on the same side. So the printed sides are all trapped inside the fold and not seen by the notebook user. Step 3. Prepare the pages from envelopes. So these are unused envelopes that went through my mailbox. We use envelope to have more variety of pages in our notebook. So, first cut the top of the envelope like this one, and you can just put it somewhere in your notebook and use it as a pocket to store something inside it, like this. Simple, right? Moving on to the next step, it is preparing the cover. So for cover, we will need something flexible and rigid to open it easily. So we use a box we got from a printing shop that were unused and were left outside. So using the paper you have prepared as a template, use the paper cutter to cut the covers a little bigger than the paper. Like this. So, these two will be used as your cover for your notebook. If you don't like the simple cover, you can also pen it. So for the last step in making your own recycled notebook, you have to assemble all of your material used. First, ideally use one of those hole punches that has a guide to keep the paper in the right place, so that the holes are all in line when you put all the paper together. So you have to make your own guideline like this. Now you need to use the hole puncher to make holes in the paper and the covers. The hole must be punched in the side of opposite the folded side of the paper. That way, the printed sides are trapped inside the fold when you assemble the book. So use it as a template to make a hole on the other paper and also covers. Make sure you punch the whole notebook. It may be hard, but be careful. So now we are done with the punch. Assemble the notebook by using a lace, wool, string, wire or rope, but we will use a lace we got from a used paper bag. Thread the notebook from the front to the back, cross over and then through from the back to the front again, tying off with a reef, knot and bow. I will making a bow using this lace, and I will show you how to tie it. The simple tie, like how you tie your shoes. Double the loop to make sure it doesn't fall off, and make a ribbon. So now we are done. This is our final look. Yay!
It's amazing on how we can produce something by ourselves and at the same time we can save our environment. Recycling is a very important act that we can do in our life, because recycling saves energy. Because when we recycle, the manufacturer doesn't have to produce something new from raw natural resources. And when we use recycled material, we actually save on energy consumption that can keep the production cost down. According to ACOA, recycling a ton of aluminium just uses 5% of energy required to make a virgin metal. Every ton of recycled aluminium that ACOA uses saves about 14,000 kilowatt per hours of electricity.
And not only that, recycling also reduces landfills, because the need to have more landfills is reduced, and no one wants to deflect a landfill, right? So apart from that, recycling also preserves our resources and protect our wildlife. Paper recycling alone actually saves millions of trees, and we could also protect our wildlife by reduce the amount of plastic used, because it's actually threatening their life when they're actually eat or when they're being entangled in the marine debris. Lastly, recycling also helps our climate problems, because when we recycle, it actually produces considerably less carbon, which actually reduce the amount of greenhouse gas emission. Allah said in the Quran, وَلَا تَقْثَوْا فِي الْأَرْضِ مُفْسِدِينَ, and do not commit abuse on the earth, spreading corruption. Al-Baqarah verse 60. So before we end our video, we will recap all the steps to make our notebook. So the first step is
Prepare all your material that you need.
second step.
Prepare the paper from the paper.
Third step.
Prepare your paper from envelope.
Fourth step.
Prepare the cover of your book.
Lastly,
Assemble all the material using your binding or your fixing.
yes, and you can decorate your notebooks according to your preference. So by that, we hope that our demonstration could change your mind to choose notebooks over gadgets, and at the same time save our environment. I think that's all from us. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.